following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide. No one's going to let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's going to dive it in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win. Welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV here tonight with the Blown Piston Racing League here from the Daytona International Speedway. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brandon Krutz. Joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is Corey Silva and Evan Black. And one-off events right now with these guys, and it should be a good show. I do believe that this is another Super Speedway Racing League, and you know, I've heard that there's a lot of good things about this league, including a lot of the drivers in it.
Yeah, we usually bring you the Cyber Racing Association on Mondays, and you'll see a lot of similar names in this race. So if their racing is anything like we see on Mondays, we're in for a doozy here tonight.
A lot of drivers in this race tonight, 37 cars, so it should be pretty exciting here.
Qualifying just now getting underway. The 5-minute clock is up, so we will see these drivers take their times on the 2.5 miles at Daytona.
And something to note real quick, these guys only have 1 lap of qualifying.
Typically you would see drivers run the top on lap number 1 to try to get those cars wound up as fast as they can, and then drop to the bottom to shorten the distance around the speedway. But with only 1 lap, you kind of have to run the bottom the first time.
Yeah, getting a really good run out of pit road is going to be really key for these drivers in qualifying.
Yeah, so back here at the Daytona International Speedway, the lights are on here for the racetrack tonight, and yeah, I'm seeing a lot of familiar names in here from other races that we do cover. And yeah, a lot of these names are good drivers just all around, so this should be a really good action-packed show here tonight, folks.
And we will look forward to bringing it to you. It'll be 66 laps around this racetrack for the race tonight, and as far as we have been told, we do have stages in order, so watch out for that to segment the racing up, bring some strategy for the championship playoffs that will be down the line for this league. But we have drivers exiting turn number 4 pretty quickly, so we should have some times pop on the board really any time now.
Drivers coming through the tri-oval right now. A few of them using the apron a little bit, and got a few times up there right now. Chad Keene right now on the pole.
49.09 is the time to beat right now. as we have some other drivers soon to take a stab at it. So far, Keen has dodged the first wave of drivers, and let's see if there's anybody else still out there.
Kevin Nash at the top of the charts.
49.08 at the top of the charts right now. Just under a tenth faster.
I don't have a graphic for it on the screen, but we can just give you a vague idea of the point standings right now. Ray Rittenauer is your championship leader after the most recent race at Talladega 2 weeks ago. He is up by 29 over Robert Fitzpatrick. Rounding at the top 5 would be Jonathan Grissup, Chad Keen, and Stephen Holmes. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Chris Berry, Kevin Hash, Jim Peterson, Pondo, Coe, and Shane Gunter. That'll be the top 10, so those are some drivers to watch out for. We can see Ray Rittenauer has 1 win on the season, only 2 races into this regular season from what I'm seeing here. Your 2 winners being Ray Rittenauer and Colton Jacobs, so a little backdated information for everybody. So
53% fuel mate here tonight. What do you kind of expect for fuel?
Based on what we've seen in our other races we've covered, I'm going to go with about approximately 20 laps, I think, from what we see on the Cyber Racing League on Mondays. Perhaps a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is an open setup league, guys.
That is correct.
So everybody, you know, granted, people will say super speedways, the draft is an equalizer. That is true, but some of these guys may not have the best car to lead this pack around, so you still do have to have decent equipment.
That is true. There are various examples at time of drivers who they have a car that can suck up, or they have a car that can lead, but a car that can't do both of those things. So if you're running maybe on a stock setup, you may not be able to, you could hang on in the draft, but you may not be able to pull out and take the lead. That will take someone who has a little more chassis built into that car.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not impossible to do anything big with a setup like that, but it does take a little bit more patience, and it is an extra set of challenges on your hands. So, you know, something that we need to look out for now, because most of the leagues that we cover, guys, are all fixed setup leagues. This one is not, so it has its own set of challenges with it, and something else to watch out for. We can actually talk about equipment value tonight.
All right, so with that being said, qualifying has wrapped up here, so we'll wait for these drivers to assemble on the grid, and let's get your PTR TV starting lineup here from the Daytona International Speedway for the Blown Piston Racing League. On the pole tonight is going to be Kevin Hash with his 49.081 second lap. We offer him our congratulations. Chad Keen to his outside. We have Ray Rittenauer in third, Jeff Figlin in fourth, Dave Anderson rounding off the top 5, and then Chris Gale to his outside. Tanner Love and Robbie Fitzpatrick in the 4th row, and then rounding out the top 10 is Paul Smith and David Jedlicka. Oh, sorry if I butchered that.
And Stephen Holmes starting in 11th, Michael Kirk to his outside, Scott Dockery in 13th, Stephen Patterson to his outside, and then Jonathan Grissup, Colton Jacobs, Gene Collum, Jason Rudebush, Sawyer Ott, Dwayne Cooper around at the top 20, and then Shane Gunter, Sean Roper, Cody Eldred, Thomas Cristiano, and Andy, I don't know how to say his last name, rounding out the top 25.
Kosilova, I believe it is. Sorry about that, Andy. Starting into the 26th position is Jim Peterson. Then it's Bill Jett, Robert Sofizo, Colin Roberts, Dan Harrington, Steve Sandelin, Joel Wood, Michael Lawyer, Danny Jones, Stephen Walter, Sean Doran. Rounding out the field in 37th is Pondo Co.
Well, quite the grid here tonight. 37 drivers, which is just near a full grid in the real world, where we usually see 40 drivers. So this is quite the field we have here tonight. So let's see if these drivers can get us a nice, clean, aggressive, hard race. We'll be hoping for it.
Absolutely, and looks like the pace car getting ready to pull off pit road. There it goes, the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car ready to go and pace this field here one time around Daytona International Speedway before these guys start to get up to speed.
Leader does get lane choice, but I would think most of the time, unless your partner is in the outside lane, you'll be picking the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely, but we have seen the high side work here at Daytona, and it can work as long as you have enough cars, and you know, this current draft package onto these cars, a little bit lower downforce than what we've seen in the past here, you know, it can play. In effect, we can go 3 wide in these cars. We can make the outside line work. We can make the outside the preferred line in these cars. This is all a matter of time before these guys try to do that, and I don't expect it to happen early in this race.
Especially with the stages that we will be seeing. I believe lap 15 was the first one that I did here in our pre-race information, so see how these drivers do decide to play that out in regards to how hard they're going to try on these opening stints. So that being said, we're in turns 3 and 4. The 03 of Kevin Hash will be the pole sitter. He will be the control car, and he can go as soon as that pace car pulls in. But here at Daytona, there's actually not much time in the middle of that, so should be seeing a green flag right when the pace car pulls in.
37 cars ready to take the green flag here at Daytona International Speedway. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn down into the iRacing pit road. The 03 car onto the pole. Green flag is in the air. They're on the throttle, ready to rumble here at Daytona.
And Chad Keenan, the outside lane, really did not get going there. The drivers behind him did, but that's going to stack up the outside lane.
Yeah, a little bit spaced out there from the outside lane, but everyone seems to be getting the run now to try to get back to the 9 and the 87 up on the top lane right now. Excuse me, the 98. Right now, Kevin Hash has the lead, and the 9 and the 98 are by themselves up top.
A lot of side drafting going on early in this race already down the back straightaway. They're going to be 2 by 2 from the front row back once again. A little bit of a 5-car breakaway up towards the front.
44 Dave Anderson moving up to the outside lane, trying to give the 98 and 9 a little bit of help. That should do it, as now they have the car advantage.
The inside line losing a little bit of car counts there. 2 cars trying to lead this thing around to the inside. Looks like the outside may have the momentum coming through the Daytona Tri-Oval.
Yeah, right now you can see the 4-car breakaway, the 44 of Dave Anderson trying to hang on there. But here comes the second pack a little bit closing in on the outside lane. We have, who is that, the gold machine up top. Believe that is Tanner Love trying to get to the top. But now the 12 machine of Paul Smith pulls in front of him.
These guys still going to be 2 by 2, a lot of shuffling around going through the center of the pack. That can be kind of dangerous, but it looks like these guys fairly organized right now.
Back up front, kind of a 2-car breakaway for the inside lane. A little ways back there to the 3rd car down there, but pretty even up front for the top 2.
Pretty even indeed. The 03 and the 9 car being pushed by the 87 and the 98. 44 tagging along here in this 5-car breakaway. The guys behind them trying to play catch-up to see what they can do.
And we can see a little bit further in the pack as we go on the long shot here. These drivers are pretty well spaced out. Everyone give it, just as I say that, we have a wreck.
Looks like they saved it, maybe.
Oh, the 35 and the 27 around on the back straightaway. That will throw out the yellow. I was just literally in the process of saying that it seemed like everybody was giving each other a lot of room and they were quite spread out. But I guess that was the jinx to bring out the yellow. Let's go.
Doesn't look like too much damage on any of those race vehicles, though, guys. I think they may be able to salvage that.
We can get a estimation of who that was. Trying to find it. Oh,
here's the 35 of Sawyer Ott and Cody Eldred.
Yeah, those guys had it mostly saved there, and the 27 came along, slammed on the brakes, didn't really have anywhere to go. He spun it all the way to the inside. League officials deciding it would be best to throw the caution flag. Props to them. Doesn't look like much contact made anywhere, but that'll stack these guys back up for yet another restart here.
3 laps in the books, but that looked like pretty much a racing deal there, guys. We're trying to get kind of into their running positions, but everybody else was pretty well content with running pretty spaced out and kind of running some laps by. So that is something to take note of for the strategy of how these drivers race in this league. We don't quite know them too well. Obviously, we don't cover them, but every set of drivers has their own ways to race, what they like to do. So we'll be learning that together here as pits will be open. See if anybody chooses to come in.
I think a few drivers might come down pit road and just top off. I don't think too many will. Like a few cars way back in the back coming to pit road.
Like from 19th on back, the majority of those drivers choosing to come to the attention of their pit crews. See Dwayne Cooper. Who else do we have? We have Eldred Jacobs, Sawyer Ott, who's just involved in that, and then a good bunch of other drivers. So that could play out with the fuel mileage. You never know how that'll affect them later on in the race. Every last lap counts, as we've seen various times in our endeavors here on the covering these plate races.
Looks like 21 cars stayed out, and then a few did fuel only.
So currently leading this race right now is the 9 machine, and behind him is the 03. Looks like just the top two did a little bit of a flip-flop there, and they'll be like that for the restart.
Just as a little just as a little information on the league right now, just so we can have a little bit more information. Like I said, that we're only on race number 2 in this series right now. I do not have a schedule as to when stuff does go off, but this actually is this is race number 3. We have 2 prior races. We said they're 87 of Ray Rittenauer. He won last race out at Talladega. He's currently in the 3rd position right now. And Colton Jacobs, the other winner, he is, where is he on track right now?
Back in 19th or 24th. Colton's back in 24th position.
And he is down to 14th in the standing. So obviously, last week at Talladega was not a good race for him.
Lights on the pace car go out. These guys will get stacked up, doubled up, and ready for the restart here from Daytona once again.
Chad Keane taking the inside lane, not very surprised about that.
Well, the inside seems to be the place that you want to be.
At least early in the run. We do know that later in the run, the outside with the right guys up there can be the prevailing line, but at least to start the race, you do want to be right there on the inside until you get wound up. Number 9, I have Chad Keane. We'll see what he can do. He will have Ray Rittenauer in the 87 helping him. Kevin Hash will have Jeff Biglin on the outside helping him. We'll see what line gets going. Remember, the pace car pulls in. We get an immediate green flag. So we'll see which lane is paying the most attention, who is on their game to get the best restart that they can get.
Pace car down into pit road. Green flag is in the air. Pretty even start by the front row and second row. No one with a clear advantage right now.
Looks like, yet again, it looks like maybe a 6-car breakaway off of the restarts here. But the front row is still going to be 2 by 2, side by side, heading down into turn number 1.
The third car in lane on the outside, or the third car in lane on the outside did not get going. That really stacked up that outside lane.
Yeah, right now the 12 of Paul Smith is a pretty far back on the outside, but now the 25 of Chris Gale is going to choose to go to the top lane and try to help out Figlin and the 03 of Hash. as the remaining, looks like there's only 8 drivers in this lead pack, and then quite a ways back to the rest of the field.
Yeah, not sure who that was in the outside lane, but it really stacked up everyone pretty much from him on back.
Yeah, looks like about 7 cars up here right now. The rest of these guys definitely are further back, and it's going to be hard for them to catch up unless they get single file. The front pack still 2 by 2.
Other car.
Kevin Hash. Go ahead, Corey.
Other car at the top of this pack we haven't talked about is the 24 of David Jedlicka. He is in the 7th position underneath the 12 right now. But then we go back about a second to the 29 of Robbie Fitzpatrick. He's leading the 2nd pack. I do think they are close enough to be able to get a run if enough of them can get single file.
Yeah, especially with that lead pack being a file, that should help them catch back up.
But back to the front, the number 9 Chad Keith still has the lead, but here comes a run from Kevin Hash on the outside in the 0-3. Has the surge from the 98 of Jeff Figlin, and that'll give the 0-3 the lead at the stripe, I do believe. Yes, it does.
Kevin Hash has a slight advantage going into turn number 1. Just about clear, not quite. We'll see if they can get it out to number 2.
Coming through turn number 2, side by side, heading down the back straightaway 2 by 2. The 0-3 car fell off just a little bit, but he's going to have the momentum on the high side coming off turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway.
Kevin Hash has the advantage on the outside, but naturally in the middle of the turn he will lose it. The 9 will be able to get the run and clear, but will he stay on the bottom or will he try to go for the block? He will not be able to block because here comes the 0-3 with yet another run on the outside.
Kevin Hash getting really good runs out of the corner. He's not quite going to lead that lap, but he should have a little bit of an advantage.
And don't look now, but we have a lot more friends joining us here. Is the 29 of Robbie Fitzpatrick and his people behind him, Scott Dockery and company. We have gotten right back together, and we're one big happy family again at Daytona.
Things are about to get busy back up towards the front of this pack here as these guys kind of singled out behind them. They're still going to be 2 by 2 up front, heading down the back straightaway. They're going to have some friends joining them, as Corey said.
And then we're put in the predicament of what do we do? Do we run double file and stay put, or do we decide to go 3 wide and try to make stuff happen? We have the 87 Ray Rittenauer on the apron. I think he's trying to get to the back of this pack, I do believe.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I really don't know why he'd go down to the apron, but that's really going to hurt the 9 Chad Keen. It's a 98 Jeff Figlin is going for the lead.
These guys going to stack back up really quickly. Now the 98 machine all alone there on the bottom. Not going to have enough momentum to clear to try to get in front of the 0-3. He's going to end up falling back.
The Figlin, the Lone Ranger on the inside, but watch out for the 9 of Chad Keen. He's going to have a head of steam. He's going to have
shot to the back bumper there.
He's going to have to give him a push. He was now able to pull out, but here up top, 25 Chris Gale to the inside of Hash. Clears him very easily through 3 and 4. And here comes the bottom line.
Things getting busy up front here. They're going to push 3 wide heading through the tri-oval.
98 Figlin trying to go through the middle, just does not have the gap he really needs. 0-3 of Hash looking back to fight back in the outside lane.
Heading down into turn number 2. They're going to be 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through the pack right now. No breakaways anymore. Game on for the rest of these guys.
Right now we have 26 drivers within 1.5 seconds of the leader right now. So the action is tight and condensed here. As you can see, all these drivers here in the lead pack. 25 of Chris Gale has the lead. He has the 98 of Jeff Figlin behind him. But behind that, it's double file all the way to the back of the pack.
Wilson back, Ray Rittenauer falling out of this race. They lost connection to the server. Unfortunate break for them. Back up front, it's a battle for the lead once again.
Jeff Figlin went up to the outside lane in front of the 0-3 Hash, and he's going to be dead even going to turn number 1.
Little bit of contact between the 7 machine and a couple of other cars back there playing ping pong back here with the number 7. Almost a wreck back there. Everyone's managed to save it.
On board Kevin Hash down the 0-3. He is on top behind Figlin here as he gets the run down the back straightaway. Remember these Xfinity machines, there's been a little bit of an update. They still are very timid to the touch in the turn, but you can get a little bit closer than you once did before. You can see him right to the back bumper of the 98 trying to get that run on the outside, and here comes the outside with a surge for the lead.
That's one thing we haven't quite talked about yet tonight is the dreaded super speedway bumper hook in these cars. It's very, very easy to do, as you said, Corey, and that's something that we see almost every race that we cover with these cars.
Yeah, the bumper hook has gotten a lot better than these last few updates.
Lap number 14 in the books, and from what I remember, I believe lap number 15 is going to be the stage lap. I don't have entirely confirmation on that, but we will watch out for it. Apologies for that, folks. But here we come as the racing's getting intense. The 25 back to the inside with a run from the 9 of Chad Keane on the inside. David Anderson behind him. Back double file pace lap formation here as we approach lap number 15.
These guys starting to get very aggressive, heading down the straightaways now, not afraid to try to pull a move, switch lanes, bump the drivers in front of them. It's all getting action-packed, tightly packed here now going into turn number 1.
24 of David Jedlicka was trying to get to the outside, but no one was really trying to go with him.
24 machine looking to the outside, maybe wanting to go 3 wide, get that third lane going. Everyone's saying, no, 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 it's too early into this race. We're not going to try that yet, as they will be almost 3 wide for the lead.
As we go through turn 3 or 4, they're wrecked.
3 in the middle of the pack, big wreck down through the corner.
That's a good 12, 15 drivers wadded up.
One good thing for these drivers, though, is there is a fast repair. And that is the end of the stage, so Chris Gale will win that.
That was the reason why everyone was going crazy for it. That was the stage on the line. Playoff points, everyone that is obviously fighting for those. Let's go back, try to see what happened here from the blimp cam.
The 03 machine, we talked about the bumper hook. It looked like he may have come down across the nose of the 9 car just a little bit, maybe trying to defend, caught the front bumper. Around he went through the center of the pack, stacked everyone up. Those guys 3, 4 wide trying to avoid. Everyone got caught up in that mess.
Yeah, I think the 9 of Keane was just a little bit higher than Hash thought. They just kind of collided into each other.
So that's going to stack these guys up once again behind the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. And that is the end of the stage.
Things getting very intense as we saw at the beginning. These drivers were a little more patient, but when those points were coming towards the line, everyone was giving every last ounce of effort. And obviously that wadded it up, but as Evan said, there is a backup car available, so a lot of these drivers most likely will have to use that after that wreck. But here we come down pit lane.
Yeah, looks like just about everyone is coming down pit road. So what are you thinking? 2 tires, 4 tires, or no tires?
I'm always an advocate of 4 tires, even if it doesn't really mean anything. Personally, I always just put 4 tires on it, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of 2-tire stops.
Looks like one driver stayed out the 24, David Jedlicka. I'd have to think he's just trying to get a bonus point. His car is pretty tore up.
Looks like the first off pit lane was, I believe, Jeff Figlin.
Chris Gale did not have a good stop. He slid through his box and then he backed up too much, and it just took him a while to get at the right spot. So he's going to lose a lot of track position.
And being at Daytona, it is a lot harder, and I think you guys will agree with me, than at the sister track Talladega to make a lot of ground up. It's possible to run 3 wide here, but it's so much more difficult that when you really get double filed up, you're kind of stuck where you are, which makes it, if you get stuck in the back 25th, 26th on a bad stop like that, it really does make it harder to get back up there.
Yeah, this track is not quite as wide as Talladega. It's not as easy to go 3 wide.
But with this caution flag up, we'll take this opportunity to go to the first side-by-side break of the race. We'll be back with you for the restart, so stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible. and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Welcome back, everybody, to PTR TV. Lights are out onto the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. These guys are getting stacked up, doubled up, and ready for the restart once again.
Cody Eldred in the 14 car did stay out. He's got a little bit of damage on the front of that machine, so we'll see how that plays out.
He should be okay, at least getting up to speed. Not sure if he will be able to lead at full speed because of that aero damage. He may have to drop into the draft for it. Looks like he has a teammate behind him, I do believe, of Sean Dower.
Another thing to point out real quick is he has ran 14 laps since he's pitted.
So that will not leave him a lot running room after this yellow flag ends, as the pace car is in and the green flag's back in the air for stage number 2.
Yeah, the 14 machine needs to be able to get up to speed here. He's not going to be able to lead his pack around, I don't think.
Pretty good restart by him, though. The 98 of Jeff Feglin did a pretty good job as well with the push from the 51.
So with the damaged machine of the 14, he's doing the best he can getting up to speed with the help from his teammate Sean Dower in the 62 machine. But let's see as we go down the back straightaway and we get up to full speed if he is able to continue at full speed.
So he's slowing down just a little bit. The 98 of Jeff Feglin looks like real clear.
I think if he gets someone in front of him to take the air off that nose, he will be okay, but it's just a matter of getting someone in front of him. Feglin now ducks to the bottom of the track. He'll take the lead, and I think this will be set for the 14.
Yeah, the 51 of Tanner Love does not have any help yet. He looks like he's going to get some here in a few minutes, though. A few seconds.
Robbie Fitzpatrick in the 29. Then we have the 27 machine of Colin Roberts, also in the team paint scheme as the 2 in the 2nd and 3rd position, and another one behind them. That seems to be a pretty common team in this league. Old schools racing or something on those lines.
Old schools motorsports, I do believe, Corey. The 98 machine, Feglin still leading this thing out front. No company yet. Now the 62 pulls out. That's Sean Dower. He's going to have help for 51.
51 looking to the outside, didn't quite have enough of a run, and no one went with him, so he's going to pull back in line.
7 in the 62, nearly made contact there through 3 and 4. Really tight side drafting going on as the 62 is trying to get that outside going with the side draft. He needs a little bit more help, and the 51 is now there to give it to him. Tanner Love, here they come on the outside for the lead.
2 by 2 by 2 up towards the front once again, heading down into turn number 1. 62 has a big run onto the outside. He's going to be looking for the lead.
Almost a 3 wide. The 98 kind of washed up there. They got really tight quarters there through 1 and 2. Everything is fine as we come down the back straightaway. 51 trying to take a look to the outside. Will he go 3 wide? I don't think he is.
The 62 of Dower will not quite clear, but he's going to be really close here into turn number 3.
Is the 51 trying to get air on the nose, or is he just trying to scare the 62 into a 3 wide?
Yeah, I don't know right now. It looks like he's looking right now, but I can't tell. They're going to be 2 by 2, door to door, nose to nose here across the start-finish line, heading to the tri-oval.
The 98 big one's starting to lose a little bit of his health from the 14, so that's going to give a pretty good advantage to the 62 of Dower.
Now see, as this run has gotten a couple laps in since the yellow, these drivers are giving themselves a little more room, spacing each other out. Top line's all the way against the wall, inside line right against the yellow line. So it looks like we will get some racing in, green flag racing in right now. Back to the front, the 98 of Figlin is getting a little bit of a run, but the 14's dropped off of his back bumper. That kills his momentum.
That'll give the advantage to the 62 and the 51 off turn number 4. If I'm not mistaken, the 62 should have this lap led this time by.
62 of Dower will lead this lap, and he is clear. Will he drop down for the 98? Will he stay out there with the 51 of Love?
He does drop down, new leader 62.
I do think we're finally starting to see the Achilles heel of the 14 machine of Cody Eldred. I just don't think he can suck up right to the back bumper of Figlin with that front end damage.
Yeah, I think you're right, Corey, and I think this outside is going to have a much better advantage as the 98 machine saw a gap. He went for it. They're going to be 2 by 2 once again between the 98 and the 62. This time it's the 98 with the advantage on the high side.
Big one is clear.
Couple drivers up front we haven't spoken about all race. The number 7 of Michael Kirk. He's down there, third car on the inside. Then behind him, Gene Collum in the 76 machine up front. A lot of new drivers shuffling their way to the front here as this race carries on.
98 and 51 are clear. They're staying up there for the moment. Looks like they're still staying up. They're going to surprise about that.
Looks like they're just trying to work into that outside line. They know that the inside isn't going to work quite yet, but with the damage that 14 has, they are putting themselves at a disadvantage running down there, and it looks like it's working for them up on the high side right now.
They will now drop to the bottom as we enter 3 and 4. That leaves the 29 of Fitzpatrick out to dry as the 29 and the 79 have quite some time to get to the back of him. But here comes Dower to the outside, trying to get the 29 working with him, as here he comes trying to make a move for the second position.
A lot of strategy with lanes being played right now. The 62 machine gonna fall back a little bit, but he's gonna have the 29 machine right to his back bumper now.
In this lead pack right now, we have 18 drivers, the last one being Danny Jones in the 53. We go a ways back to the second pack being led by Shane Gunter in the 19th position. But back to the front, 2-car breakaway, the 51 and the 98. Team cars side by side for the third position.
Outside lane's starting to drop back just a little bit. They've got a car amount disadvantage for the moment. We'll see if they can get back up there.
Something also worth noting is the 14 of Cody Eldred. He's been out on circuit for 21 laps. We know that with the fuel load, he is not going to have much more fuel in that tank. He's going to have to pit relatively soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I give him another 10 laps, not even at most, before he has to go into pit road.
So when he does that, it's going to be a stack up on the bottom most likely, as he's going to have to back off, so we'll watch for that. Sean Dower's teammate, the 62, tried to sneak into the line there, but the hole was filled in by Eldred.
Outside lane starting to get back up there too. They're pretty much even with second place right now. Let's see if we can get up there to the 98 of Figlin.
Another driver we haven't talked about on the outside, the 52 of Stephen Patterson. Again, drivers working their way up here as the race carries on.
51 has to watch where he's bumping the 98 machine right now. We've seen the bumper hook play in effect here at Daytona time and time again. He's on the left side of that bumper. That can be really dangerous. Looks like maybe trying to keep an eye out and see where he's going, but that can still be dangerous. And don't look now, here comes the 62 machine on the outside with the 29.
62 of Dow right on the door of Figel and dropping back just a little bit now, but he should be a pretty good round for number 4.
That is if the 29 is able to stay with him on his back bumper. Not going to happen that time by. That's going to leave the 62 at a disadvantage. We got lap cars coming up here pretty soon. They're going to have to push it 3 wide.
Here they come in the tri-oval, excuse me, the lappers of Keane and company all the way to the top. We do get by. A couple more drivers on the inside lane up front, so they'll have to navigate around those as well.
See if those lap cars move up the track. There they go. That'll help these guys out up front.
The 62 of Dow is clear. He's going to try and bring the 29 with him, but he can't right now.
It's the 78 and the 24 of Michael Lawler and David Jalika here. They go all the way to the top against the wall. They funnel in double file.
24 up into the wall, almost down in front of the pack. Now the 14's pitting. That stacks him up even further.
The 14 at the end of his fuel load, about 25 laps. He did stretch it, so he's going to need one more stop at the very least to the end. So see how he shakes out, but back to the action. Right now, the 98 still enjoys the lead with the 51 helping him, but the 62 of Dower is taking a look to the outside yet again with the help from the 29 machine.
62 of Dower trying to do a little bit of side jacking. That's really helping get a real good run down the back straightaway. He's going to be even going into turn number 3.
It's 3 on 4 right now. Advantage to the inside lane as the number 7 of Michael Kirk there is the extra driver on the bottom right now, giving him that push. And then the second pack led by the number, who is that? The 93 of Andy Koklika, I'm sorry. Oh, caution flag.
Caution on the speedway.
Trying to see where it is, if anybody can give me some leads.
Looking.
Yeah, I'm not really having any leads right now. I believe I may Cullen Roberts perhaps, kind of looking at my data here. Oh, it's not him. Yeah, was that, oh wait, was that the stage?
I'll bet that is the stage.
All right, we apologize, folks. Remember, this is our first race. I don't think we were given the exact stage info. We were told very quickly, but that does make sense. That would end the stages. The first one was on lap number 15.
Being confirmed that was the stage caution, guys.
Okay.
And something that we were not notified before the race was the stage length, so we do apologize.
And just as clarification, I do believe his wife is watching. We want to make sure that we are getting it right. Sean Dower in the 62. I believe I've been saying Dower, so apologies for that.
Well, I was pronouncing it right. I don't know about you guys.
So this will most likely give us about a 30-lap dash to the end. And if we do go green, we will not make it under the fuel load that these drivers are given. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. If we have green, if we go caution, the other way around. Let's get that right. If it stays green or we have cautions, but everybody will come to pit lane now, top off fuel cells, and we'll get ready for stage number 3.
Yeah, if they go green, I really don't see how they could make it on the fuel. Because based on the 14, they can go about 24, 25 laps.
62, nearly, oh, 62 of Doer. He completely missed his stall there. That's going to cost him a significant amount of time.
Can't have that much time lost here at Daytona. If you were going to go with 4 tires, you may want to switch to 2 now.
Feature that is implemented on iRacing in the recent past has been the animated pit crews. Unfortunately, we don't get them here on the broadcast end, but the drivers will finally get to see their pit crew going around the vehicle, changing the tires, jacking the car up, etc. And that process has actually made pitting a lot more difficult. You really have to nail your pit box entry a lot better than before. Obviously, a couple drivers still perhaps haven't perfected it, so that's going to put the 62 back to actually only to the 7th position, so it wasn't too terrible for him.
Drivers still on the lead lap, or 31 now as the 24 is getting the lucky dog.
Looks like Hondo Co and Dan Harrington both took it behind the wall.
We want to again thank everybody who is watching tonight on Primetime Racing TV for our one-off coverage thus far of the Lone Piston Racing League here. We are bringing you this race. Only one race tonight as their primary broadcaster is away for the holidays, so I hope you are enjoying the coverage. If you do like what we're doing, just give us a like and a sub. That would, of course, help us out quite a bit. So, see.
Yeah, absolutely. We always appreciate it.
Still another lap or so of pacing to endure, at the very least, as the lights are still on the pace car.
So, we did get cross flags that time by, and while we're at halfway, I would like to give a shout out to our channel sponsors. Air Movement Fabrications, Nottingham's choice for custom signs, designs, repairs, and all things metal. Visit them online at airmovefabs.co.uk or find them on Facebook, Air Movement Fabrications. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, Euro cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. And iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing 2 main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcasting company looking for custom overlays to make your channel shine, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. And also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a Patreon, you will get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV.
I do appreciate everyone who takes a look at that. It's a very increasingly expensive thing getting to be the best broadcasters we can, so any bit of help does obviously help us immensely. But right now we currently have, do we have one to go? Yes, we do.
A few drivers taking the wave around.
So your leader here right now is the 98 machine, 27 his outside, then it's the 51 of the 7, and rounding out the top 5, I believe, is the 52 machine. We saw the mistake from Sean Dorr missing his pit stall. Looks like he's going to be back there in the 7th position, it looks like.
For how much he missed it, that really didn't hurt him too bad.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a mistake that you can't get away with too often with how many positions he lost.
31 laps to go once we get the green flag, so there should be one more pit stop. So that will always shake things up.
Yep, it'll be 31 laps to go, 30 when we take the line for the green flag. We only expect about 25 or so laps per tank, so we will see how that plays out, if the yellow flag waves its ugly head or if we go green. We'll find out together here on PTR TV as Jeff Figlin will get stage 3 underway tonight.
Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn down into pit road once again. The 98 machine leading this thing right now. The 27 of his outside, green flag in the air. We're underway once again from Daytona.
Pretty even start from both lines right here, as the 98 and the 27 are pretty well equal as we go through the second half of the tri-oval. But I'll tell you, the inside line is not grouped together at all.
No, the inside line needs to get more organized if they're going to make anything happen. Sean Dewar to the back bumper of the 52 machine to now fourth car onto the bottom. Looks like he's going to try to make something happen and push that 52 up, see if they can make some ground on that bottom line.
Outside lane got a really good run out of number 2. The 27 of Colin Roberts will be just on the right quarter of the 98.
Advantage to the inside line. Now the 51 machine pushing hard to the 98 through the corner. Really got to be careful with that, but it is helping them a lot.
Yeah, you can see a 2-car breakaway by a couple car lengths right now. The 52 machine of Stephen Patterson worked his way up to the 3rd position here. Looks like he kind of drifted up there a little bit on the 27, but he's also going to clear the outside. And here he goes to the outside.
The 52 to the outside. That's going to stack him up a lot. They're going to look to go 3 wide. 27 almost got turned to the back.
That really checked up the outside lane, so that's going to help the inside pull away quite a bit.
Yeah, Patterson.
Almost contact between the 52 and the 62.
Patterson, in his endeavor to the top, has actually killed the top's momentum. He's lost his help in the process. He's just now getting help back from Colin Roberts in the 27.
Don't look now, the 62 machine of Sean Dewar is back up to the front of this thing in the 3rd position, and he was battling for the lead that whole last stage. He's going to move to the outside. That might hurt him.
Yeah, he didn't have the help when he went to the top, so he lost a lot of momentum, and they're going to get...
52 might look to go 3 wide, not going to happen that time. By now the 25 is looking up top.
Yeah, Dewar's move was a little bit pre-planned, didn't have the help with him to do it, so lost a couple spots in the process. His teammate of Joel Wood, haven't talked about him. He's on the inside lane now.
Action-packed beginning of stage 3 right now. They're going to be 2 by 2. A lot of lane changes going on through the center of the pack right now. That can be dangerous. These guys trying to get organized going into turn number 3.
Chris Gale kind of side by side with the leader, dropping back just a little bit, but he should get a really good run out of turn 4.
As we
25 coming up on the outside.
As we come to lap number 39 here, we currently still have about 33 drivers on track right now, folks. Currently have 24 in the lead draft right now, so everybody under a blanket here for the BPRL, Blown Piston Racing League, excuse me, on the outside lane right now. Chris Gale with Sean Dewar trying to get that outside going yet again on Jeff Figlin. Here they come down the back straightaway.
2 by 2 once again going down into turn number 3. Sean Dewar pushing the 25 on the outside, maybe trying to make something happen for the lead.
Losing quite a bit of ground here in 3 and 4, but they're going to get a really good run out of 4 and through the front straightaway and tri-oval.
Jeff Figlin in the 98 has led 19, potentially 20 laps thus far. He seems to have the best chassis under the hood of that machine right now. He can really hold these guys off on that inside lane. But the 25 and the 62 are not rolling over and playing dead. They are going to try to take another surge at it right now as we come through 1 and 2.
Yeah, a lot of people may say, well, this is a 66 lap race here tonight, but why pushing it still? It's still kind of early. With the super speedways, you don't want to get caught up in any mess if it's out of the... Now you're going to try to make your way up front.
25 of Chris Gale down to the inside lane. He cleared Figlin. They left Sean Dewar out there to try.
Sean Dewar does have help now. He's going to be challenging for the lead on the outside.
Huge run by the outside. Sean Dewar should clear here in the tri-oval.
62 on the high side, 25 on the low side. Not going to get clear on the high side that time by, but it's a fair fight for the lead. Sean Dewar led that lap last time by.
Dewar has it. He has cleared, but will he drop to the bottom? He will not. He will let the 25 get resurge on the bottom. We'll get that momentum, and here we go for another side-by-side battle.
The outside line has the car count that they're a little bit more organized. Dewar has the momentum going down the back straightaway, heading down into turn number 3.
Dead even going into 3. Dewar has a slight advantage, but loses it in the center. 25, and Chris Gale currently in the leader.
That was a little bit sketchy through the center of the corner on the bottom line there. The 98 was pushing the 25 pretty hard. 25 got a little bit squirrely, but he managed to save it, and they're going to be 2 by 2 once again.
Right now,
once again, dead.
Right now, I was going to say, since the start of the race, the 62 is up 34 positions. He started this race very far back in the pack, so he obviously has been up there battling all race. He's been on the outside lane. almost this entire race trying to get clear. He's led a few laps, but again, still trying to go at it, trying to get that lead back.
We're past halfway now. Obviously, this is where these guys are going to start to push harder and harder and harder. The 52 machine trying to get back to the back bumper of the 62 now. Not going to make anything happen this time. Behind the 25, going to lead this lap once again.
Outside lane starting to drop back just a little bit. They got a pretty good run through the tri-oval into turn number 1.
Through turns 1 and 2, the bottom line with the advantage right now. Diglin pushing as hard as he can to the back bumper of the 25 to try to keep the 62 and the 52 behind them. We got a couple of lap cars coming up now. These guys are going to have to go 3 wide once again. Caution on the speedway.
Wreck on the back straightaway.
Jason Rudebush in the 96 backwards on the back stretch. Let's go back on PTR replay.
Looks like it was a single car wreck, guys.
Yeah, Rudebush is with the 4 machine right now.
Oh, hard contact the outside wall there.
The 4 of Steve Sandlin here kind of got into the back bumper of him and just bumper hooked him on the straightaway. See, he got to the right rear, and then that's just classic bumper hook, but awkward to see it on the straightaway of all places.
My, oh my, that was a hard hit to the outside wall. Able to drive away, though. I don't know if he used his one quick fix or not, but yeah, that car pretty well destroyed.
So that will get the field reassembled behind the iRacing.com pace car, and it should pretty much take fuel mileage out of the picture, as we expect I would expect everybody to top off the fuel cells, and that should give them the clearance they need to finish this race.
Pit road should be open this time. I'd expect everyone to be coming down pit road to at least top off.
And as they come off turn 4, there they are down pit lane. Pace car seems to be a pretty lonely soul out there on the racetrack right now.
62 doer did make it into his stall this time. He's doing gas only.
So yeah, as the drivers come down pit lane, you can see the times. Looks like the majority of drivers have very quick stops. That would imply 2 tires or no tires. A couple drivers did take 4 by the looks of it.
Yeah, looks like Chris Gale did take 4 tires.
But up behind the pace car right now is the number 42 of Bill Jett. Haven't talked about him all day today, but he has stayed out, I do believe. Him and Shane Gunter right now. They are 1 and 2. Then Sean Dewar would be the most recent, will be the winner off pit lane. He is in the 3rd position.
It's going to be really close, and if those drivers that stayed out will be able to make it or not.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, and that'll be interesting to watch.
It looks like the 42, he may be coming to pit road this time by. Yes, he will.
9 machine, a couple lap cars dropping in now.
But 31 of Shane Gunter does remain on track.
.31, as you said, does stay out.
And Evan, I want to confirm with you, because I know you have the access to the same information as I do. How many laps has Shane Gunter been out on track?
It says 12 laps right now.
All right, so that would give him, my information's a little bit off here on my end, but that would give him the ability to go to about lap number 55 to 58 probably. So he by no means is going to finish this race out from what we understand the fuel mileage to be.
But we haven't quite seen a full fuel run, guys.
Well, we saw Cody Eldred make it 24 laps before he came down pit road on the green.
So it does give us a slight idea. Very interesting strategy call here. Maybe hoping for a yellow.
But you have to imagine at this point, if a caution does come out, does anybody like Dewar and Tanner Love, everybody behind him, do they have any reason to come back to the pits?
Probably not. Personally, if I was in their shoes, I would not plan on coming back to the pits at all. Track position at this point in the race is extremely important, and you're not going to want to give that up.
Yeah, we're coming to 20 laps to go here at the line where no one else is going to come down pit road if they can make it on fuel.
So we'll see.
But even then, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see what indeed the 31 has up his sleeve here as to why he has stayed out. I mean, obviously he's going to get some points from it, we do assume. But lights are out on the pace vehicles, so we will get doubled up and ready to go racing here with 20 to go, 19 when we hit the line.
Only thing I can really think is that I don't know if he's thinking that no one else can make it. But we see people go 24 laps, so we know they can make it if they just pitted.
Alright, so we'll have to find, and he's got to drop back off the pace car now. Really, looks like he's kind of slow right now, to be honest.
Might just be trying to save fuel, it sounds like. He's got some pretty good front end damage on that machine.
And he is pacing right now in 4th gear, which would be an indication that he perhaps is trying to save fuel to the last drop, because 4th gear will use less fuel than revving at a higher rate in 2nd gear.
He's going to have to go 32 laps. I just don't see how he can do it.
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible at all, really. But I guess we'll find out to see what he does. As of right now, we are expecting him to pit. The 03, not sure where he's going.
Kevin Hash.
I am very confused on what's going on right now.
Are we?
Me too.
Are we still are we going green, or have we delayed it?
We're still going green.
Hash is going to get the waiver on right now, but the pace car is in, and we're back to green flag racing at Daytona.
31 of Gunther did not get going. It's going to give the 62 of Dewar the lead.
Oh, they're wrecking! Big wreck down back behind them. Look like maybe everyone saved it. They're going to be stacked up big time.
That's Cullen Roberts here. He hit the inside pit wall, and I think everybody's stacked up.
Caution.
Oh, caution flag is into the air now.
Everybody else just kind of stopped. I think they were trying to maybe avoid a penalty because of the awkward timing of the yellow, perhaps. Let's go back on replay. No?
Sounds like the 52 missed a shift.
That was incredible, and that does happen.
The 52, it sounds like he went into first instead of third.
Man, oh man, and that is big time trouble, big time no-no here. And that can happen at any track, guys. That can happen at any track, to any driver.
He was having some kind of major issue because I can see from my end here, his car is not outputting any telemetry data, but everybody else's was, so there was something going on.
Looks like the 27 did spin. The 52, possible mechanical error. He was coming to a stop there. He had no power. Let's see here.
It sounded like he went into first instead of third.
Maybe just grenaded the engine there, which is what's going to happen when that kind of situation occurs. But
yeah, his engine did blow.
he was at a very, very high RPM coming to a stop, and it did not look like he was able to hit the throttle at all, so...
And again, even though we are in the world of sim racing, that is a thing. It does happen. Drivers do miss a shift on starts. I've seen drivers in the past blow races on restarts. Just you go to the wrong gear, you end up hurting the engine for the long term. It is a thing that does happen, and unfortunately for this case, it did wad up, I believe it was the 27 of Cullen Roberts.
Yeah, there's a few other cars back in the pack that got some damage just from hitting each other.
And let's see what this does. Sorry, Brian. Let's see what this does for the 31 of Gunter. He stays
out.
One thing I would like to mention about the 31 machine is that he does have a little bit of front end damage, it seems. So that's another thing that may play effect to him.
But this would have seemed like, to me, like kind of his lucky break to be able to pit and maybe not lose as much track position with there being a wreck and a lot of other drivers on pit lane, but he just choose to stay out yet again.
It looks like Sean Dewar gained a position from that, though. He's up to the second position now. He was third off that last restart, but we're going to reset these guys. And
Chad Keane getting the lucky dog, I do believe, as he zooms around. Remember, Keane had led a couple laps and was up front for the good portion of the first half of the race.
I'm still very utterly confused by that last restart. There was a lot of things that happened. I'm still confused on the whole 0-3 situation, to be honest.
0-3 took, it looked like it was a wave round, but he took it.
He had the EOL penalty, and for those of you who don't know what EOL means, it's end of line penalty. So league officials were telling him to drop to the back. It's too late to take any wave around. Maybe he just wasn't really paying attention to what race control was telling him to go, but that was a very odd situation.
Because at Daytona, on the lines of what Brandon was saying, if you're going to be able to be waved around via a lucky dog, a wave around, any kind of manual situation, what have you, you need a full lap to get around here to be able to get back for the restart. So where Hash was trying to get the wave around really off of turn 4, he was going to make no progress by the time the green flag came out.
He would have been lapped by, probably turn 4 the next time by.
But the caution did come out, so he still got it.
Yeah, lucky break for him as well.
Still, another perplexing situation. We're still all trying to figure out what Gunter is trying to pull with the 31. We know he's not going to be able to make it on fuel, but he does carry on for one more lap on the racetrack at the very least, and obviously he's planning on taking the green flag with this current fuel load. Does he think with enough cautions that he can stretch it? Does he think there's going to be so many cautions that he'll be able to make it on that? I mean, I guess we'll find out together.
PTR TV turning into a drama show. So we are stacked back up under the yellow flag once again.
Should probably have around 14 laps to go once we get back under green.
And we know what these guys are capable of. We saw stage number 1, which was extremely tight, hard racing to end stage 1. We did see a wreck coming to that, but the racing leading up to it was completely all over the place, the 2-3 wide action. So I do expect that to be the closing of this race. We do still have about, 30 drivers on the lead lap right now, so no shortage of drivers going for this victory.
Lights are out.
Guys will get stacked up, doubled up, and ready for the restart once again here. Action-packed racing so far, a lot of drama going on so far, and a little bit of strategy maybe trying to be played.
Yeah, we'll have to find out together what's indeed going to happen, because I think a couple of us are, I mean, myself included, myself at least, is very perplexed as to what's going on with certain situations, but that's why you got to keep watching to the end. You never know what the racing gods are going to bring, so we will see what 31 has in the tank and what he's going to do. We'll see if Sean Dewar in the 62 can take the lead and try to finally get the lead, which he seems not to have been able to have for very long tonight.
And keep in mind, guys, if the 31 runs out of gas in the middle of the pack, that could be devastating for some of these guys, and it could very possibly cause a wreck.
Yeah, if he's got the 51 right on his rear bumper, that's going to be bad. All we can do is hope he runs out when the 51's not on his bumper and he can get down to the apron.
Yeah. But we'll have to see what happens here. Lights on the base car are off, and these guys will be taking the green flag at turn number 4. Pace car ready to turn down into pit road once again. 31 leading this thing still. Sean Dewar onto the outside of the 62. Pace cars off. Green flag in the air. We're underway once again.
31 did not get going there. 62 of Dewar is going to have the lead. He's going to clear him before turn 1.
51 gave a huge shot to the back bumper to 31, but the inside lane is going to be really stacked up here. Dewar maybe trying to bring the 7 with him. He's staying up top. No, now he's going to maybe drop down. He may very well get sucked into the middle. They're going to be 3 wide, almost 3 wide around him. Dewar managed to save himself.
Michael Kirk at the 7 took a look to the outside. He just decided to stay in line. Here comes the 31 of Gunter. He will clear with the run from the 51 of Tanner Love down the back straightaway, but the 62 obviously not laying down without a fight. Here he comes back with a run.
31 gets the momentum through the center of the corner. Now Dewar will have the momentum on exit.
I don't know how well 31 of Gunter will be able to lead, and there's a wreck behind him. 2 cars, one upside down. No caution yet.
The 12, and who was that upside down?
Caution is out. The 12 car.
And the 3 of Scott Dockery.
Man, oh man. Wow. The 3 car takes a wild ride through the infield of Daytona. Upside down.
It looks like the 3 got hit in the left rear from Dwayne Cooper, the 00. And that sent him to the infield along with the 12 of Paul Smith.
Hard hit upside down, a barrel rolling across the concrete, skidding on his roof, through the grass, barrel rolling even further.
Yeah.
Big wreck here at Daytona.
The 12 was even more of a innocent victim than even the 3 was there. He just held his line, and all of a sudden a car just beelined into his right side. So bad break for them. But it'll give another caution and another opportunity for the 31 to save fuel or choose to come to pit road.
All these cautions, he might make it.
I don't expect the 31 to pit now.
He's made his bed.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, he's gone this far. He's not going to turn back now. He's not going to try to lose all that track position. And if he runs out of fuel, he runs out of fuel. You know, good game. GG, it's over. But if he manages to hold this position, he may very well have a shot to win this race if he saves it off. Very, very interesting and bizarre strategy call that if he is able to save enough fuel, which is not out of the question right now with how many cautions we've had at the end of this thing, and especially if the pattern continues, we may have the 31 in victory lane.
I mean, I'm on the telemetry right now, guys, and right now, minimal RPMs, clutching it in 4th gear. That's what Gunter is doing in the 31. You just turn it on just for a second just to get some more speed in it. And I expect him to get right back clutching it back to minimum RPM. So there he goes.
Saving as much fuel as he possibly
is he pitting?
can. No.
Oh,
he's gonna fake. He almost brought a couple guys with him.
I almost wonder if that thing doesn't make it, is he going to be going to the R&D department after this race, have that car checked out?
The iRacing R&D Center?
Yeah.
backup. This is very interesting, and I'm intrigued now to see what happens to him, because I think he might be able to make it at this point.
I really don't know if he'll be able to. It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close.
It's going to be probably 9 laps to go once we go green.
Yeah, and this will be really interesting right to the end, Evan. You know, and you know, as you said, it's going to be very close for him, but he's held the lead for 2 caution periods now. You know, running out front in the draft, or you know, without any air in front of you, without a car in front of you, it uses more fuel. But with how much he's been able to save so far, who knows?
Yeah, these cautions right now are his best friend.
Absolutely, and we still could get one more. We don't know.
One more caution, I would say he's pretty safe to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be close now, but if we get one more, especially with the way that these restarts have been going, but who knows? I mean, personally, I'd like to see it to go green to the end here. That's, you know, get some more racing action in. This league has been absolutely amazing so far. And we've seen a lot of familiar names in this league from leagues that we've covered in the past. And currently we cover Cyber Racing Association, another super speedway league that we run on Monday nights. And it seems like all these guys I've recognized from that league as well. So we know what these guys are capable of.
So guys, it's the time of the race. Take your picks.
62, Sean Dewar.
I'm going to go with the 14 of Cody Eldred.
And I just have to check manufacturers, make sure I don't pick a Ford driver. I'm going to go with the 7 of Michael Kirk, going with an underdog pick.
And
yeah,
ladies
me and Corey took the underdog, Brandon took the obvious pick.
And the only reason I say he's the underdog is because we haven't seen him battle for the lead, and obviously we don't know the drivers in terms of their past performance, so just based on the performance today, I'll go with the 7.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live right now, take your pick. Show us in chat who you want to win or who you expect to win this race. Whereas, like, the chat getting active, so blow up our chat right now. Who do you want to win this race?
I think I have a bet as to who in chat's going to go for the 62.
Yep.
Yep.
I do have Sean Dewar's wife watching, so I have a feeling I know who she's going to pick. If we're wrong, I feel like there's going to be a little problem there in the Dewar household afterwards. So that's one, and like I said, say your picks in chat. We will get this exciting. Hopefully we get one to go. So if we get one to go this time by, we'll go green with 8 laps to go at Daytona. And just as a reference, we do not have what the other league that we cover does. There's no green-white checkers here, so if the race does end, the race does end, and we expect, I believe, lap 5 to go to be the iRacing cutoff lap, where we would not go green if a caution came out at that point. So just take note of that.
Hey Corey, Mr. Moto Goat said 4-4 the win.
Ooh.
And Corey obviously does not like Fords. But the lights on the pace car are out behind the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. These guys will get stacked up, doubled up, and ready for what could be the final restart of the night.
About 8 laps to go once we get the green flag back in the air.
Well, the only way to have another restart would be a very quick caution, and we don't want to see that. We want to see these last laps phase out. We want to see if our picks are right. We want to see what can the 32 pull off a fuel mileage miracle and finish this race out. I would assume he expects to do so because he is out there. He's had 3 or 4 cautions to be able to pit. He has denied each one of them, so that's going to be my big focus here, but we'll see what happens. Stay with us for 8.5 more laps here of exciting short track, super speedway action here on BTR TV.
This is not quite a short track.
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Hey, I've been getting the track names right recently. Had to screw up the size, I guess, something.
It was bound to happen eventually with you. So the 31 still out front of the thing, and the big question still is, can he make it on fuel? If he manages to make it, he could have a victory. If not...
But as you said, if he runs out at the wrong time, it could be catastrophic for everybody else in the front pack, so
at least everybody in the bottom lane. But nevertheless, pace car ready to make that hard left turn down in a pit road for what could be the final time here tonight. There it goes, green flag back in the air. We're underway once again.
Dewar with a good start on the outside. He's by himself. The 7 of Kirk is far behind him, but that's going to actually stall the 62 out and give the 31 a little bit of momentum on the inside.
The 51 of Love got a pretty good start behind Gunther to give him just a little bit of a run.
These guys getting really squirrely up towards the front. It looks like all of them may have straightened it out now.
51, look to the inside.
Right below the double yellow line. The 31's going to have to give up room. They're going to be 3 by 3 by 3.
Not sure if that move's going to be legal by the 51. He might have to yield it.
Oh,
we're wrecked.
Through the center of the pack, almost upside down goes the 31. Hard contact with 92.
And more guys.
They're piling it up down through turn 3 and 4. Oh my, oh my.
That all started with the move below the yellow line, which I'm not sure the legality of that, but let's see how.
I don't know what that was personally. I don't like that move, and I'll be honest, I didn't like the looks of that from the start.
I'm just going to go back a little ways here. Let's go on board with the 51 if we can, of Tanner Love.
I'm going to say this. The 51 was shoved down below the yellow.
We're on board with the 51 now. Watching, but the lane was there, and I'm going to go with Evan on that. The lane was there, and there was a little bit of a block done, so to avoid a wreck, he went below the yellow line. He did. But
and then the 31 just didn't give him really enough room to come up.
But it kind of falls into the racing deal category, but that was very easily avoidable. With a little, I mean, you don't want to give and take too much at this point in the race, but there still has to be enough.
The heat of the moment and the hot racing that we've seen all night, something like that, unfortunately, was bound to happen. But it is unfortunate especially for all those guys back there. But our new leader right now is Sean Dewar in the 62 machine. We should have one more restart tonight.
Yeah, I expect probably to go green with about 4, maybe 3 laps to go. But as we said, Sean Dewar in the 62, he's led his 5th, now 6th lap of the race. Remember, he's been the one fighting on the outside, trying to get position for the majority of the race, but hasn't really had it. This will be the first time that I can recall he will be the leader on a restart.
The question is, what will happen from here? Because
I have an idea.
Sean Dewar will be on the inside. The 7 machine did have a teammate up front with him, but now that's all gone.
I have an idea what's going to happen.
What's your idea, Corey?
It's chaos. Which, how else is a super speedway?
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos would be nice.
For super speedways. Nevertheless, this will be interesting.
So just as reference, my pick is the 7. He's still up there. Did someone have the 62?
Yep, that was me.
What about you, Mr. Black? Where was yours?
Cody Eldred in 6th.
All right, so our picks are still up there. Well, let's see if yours are. In chat, someone going for the 7. So I have a follower on the 7 car. A couple of us going for him. Get the 50, the 51, the 90, and the 99 all being picked. So 51 being the top of the bunch with those drivers.
Which he really didn't get too much damage from that. I think he'll be fine. Just lost a little bit of track position.
And being that we're only gonna have about 3 laps to go, we kind of have to use a little bit of just use a little bit of common knowledge with. I would have to say, if you're not in the top 8, I would even say top 6, I don't think you're gonna have a chance at this.
I will disagree to an extent, because we could always see the three wide situation at these super speedways. Not as likely here at Daytona, but it could happen.
Yeah, I think if you're in the top 10, you can win the race. With all the chaos that's happened so far.
Yeah.
And remember, once the white flag does fly, the race will end by the checkers. They will, no matter how much chaos, wreck, carnage ensues on the white flag lap, they will race around to the checkers. So you could be in 15th and be the guy that evades 14 cars and wins the race. It is very well possible. But if we are doubled up in pace lap double file formation on the white flag lap, it's going to be really hard for someone to get anything going without forcing a really tight 3 wide, but I do expect that to happen.
Yeah, we should have 3 laps, I do believe, once we get into the green flag.
So if we get a quick caution, that'll end the race. If something happens after the white flag, we will remain green. Simpler terms. But yes, I do believe it will be hard for someone to gain position. And it'll be really, really interesting to see some of the moves that these guys will pull here towards the end of this thing. And I pray that we don't see any yellow flags.
Yeah, we don't want to award the trophy to the pace car driver. We want to award it to a driver who takes the checkered under green. That makes the best show for us in the booth, the best show for you guys watching, and it's better for the drivers behind the seats. They want to end it with a authentic finish, so let's see how that does happen as we get 1 to go. Lights out on the pace car, everyone gets doubled up, and let's see what we can do for 3 more laps around Daytona.
These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready for the final restart of the night here from Daytona. 62 is on the inside your leader. Then it's the 7, the 98, 51, and 44 will remain your top 5 right now.
Stay tuned. After the race, we will do our best to try to gather the top 3 of these drivers together, the top 3 finishers of the race for post-race interviews. So stay with us for those after the race. But we got to see who we're going to talk to. We got to see how this is going to shake out. Sean Dewar, excuse me. He is leading. Michael Kirk in 2nd on the outside. Jeff Figlin in 3rd to the inside. Tanner Love in 4th to the outside. Those will be the positions that'll get this race restarted. Let's see which line is more ready for the restart. Let's see which line is more organized and gets the better push.
So these guys ready to go back green flag racing. This time by pace car will pull into pit road for the final time tonight. Pace car pulls in. 62 on the throttle, green flag back in the air.
The 62 got a really good start, as well as the 90 at big one. It's really going to help the inside lane.
Absolutely it will, and the nerves of everyone in the top 10 are probably really hard right now. These guys are going to go 3 wide through the center of the pack there, but back up front, it's a 5-car battle.
Yeah, the second pack has dropped off quite a bit, so right now these drivers up front are going to be the guys most likely going for the win. 98 takes a look to the inside. We're 3 wide, 98, 62, and the 7 give Michael Kirk the run on the outside with the help from the 51. Will Kirk drop down to the bottom? Yes, he will. Give the 7 the lead.
Don't count Dewar out of it yet. He fell back from the lead. Caution, flag in the air. The 7 car is going to get the victory here from Daytona.
We see the 4, we see the 59, we see a couple other drivers involved here in a last, 2 lap to go wreck that will end the race behind the iRacing pace car. So let's see here what happened. There was a huge stack up there. And it looks like 3 wide, and I think that's Ray Rittenauer that got turned. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it looks like he just came down a little bit on the 96 for Rudebush. I guess he just didn't know Rudebush was down there.
Yeah, you can see Rudebush gave him a push down the back straightaway. They were up top, up top 2 wide. A little bit of 3 wide going on. Rudebush in the middle, and 87 came down about 2 feet, but just enough to cause that melee. So who picked the 7? I hear crickets.
Was that you?
Yeah, it was me. Woo! But it's not over. He still does have to make it one more lap around under caution. We've seen weirder things in life, so he does still have to finish the race before we can go and engrave the trophy. Obviously, super speedway racing, as close quarters, hectic, high speed as it is, not uncommon for races to end in this style of fashion. So fortunately we are behind the pace car, but nonetheless we saw a good race, a lot of hard racing, a lot of intense racing from these BPRL drivers. We ended up having 29 drivers finish on the lead lap tonight, I do believe, from the scoring, so that was pretty good. And 33 out of the 37 drivers that started the race on track at the end of it, so that is also a good showing by these drivers. So good group of guys in the BPRL. Glad we could cover tonight's action for you guys tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. We come through 3 and 4 and await the checkers.
We've seen the 7 machine up front pretty much all night tonight. I don't think he led too many laps here tonight, but he was hanging around up front around these guys pretty much the whole time. Now coming off of turn number 4, not up to speed, but behind the iRacing.com pace car. The 7 machine, Michael Kirk, will be your winner here tonight from Daytona International Speedway. Double checkers fly, the checker yellow, rather, will fly, and he'll be your winner here tonight.
Oops.
Our congratulations go out to him, and catch the post-race show quick after these messages.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinser. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T similar because of the laser.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show. We're hoping to be able to interview your top 3. We have at least one of them here right now, so let's start with the interview with the 3rd place finisher of Jeff Figlin.
So, Jeff Figlin, you come home with a 3rd place finish after a pretty good race. What are your thoughts?
That I wish I had a couple more laps and that caution didn't come out, because I think I'd have had something for the victory.
So we saw a little bit of green flag racing, a little bit of cautions. What was your, did you have like a pit strategy going into the race, or did that just kind of come up on the fly?
No, actually, I mean, I surprised I qualified as good as I did, and the whole goal is I'm so far down in points that I needed to get what I could. So 2nd place in the first stage, 1st place in the 2nd stage. The goal was just to stay up front, and when I came down pit road, I accidentally had my tires checked, so I took right side tires. It got me marred back in the field there, and luckily I made it through without much incident. I think I had 0 incident points on the race, but I had to work my way through. I think I could have been up front there a little longer and maybe been out front when the time came.
Yeah, when you were back in the field, did you have many close calls? We saw quite a few big wrecks out there.
There's a lot of close calls. There's always close calls on super speedway racing, but I mean, I didn't expect anything else. I mean, these guys race hard, and I want to thank Sean Dewar for giving me the room there when I made that crossover there to take 3rd place back before that caution came out. But everybody that I raced with today, it seemed to work well for me, and guys race good and clean around me at least. I'm not sure about others, but race good for me, and I want to thank my teammates at Triple Clutch Racing for working with me there. Dave Anderson got some damage there at the end. Otherwise, I think 2 of us would have really made a run for it. But it is what it is. 3rd place is fine with me.
All right, congrats on your finish, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.
And now Corey will take 2nd place finisher Tanner Love.
All right, Tanner, you finished in the 2nd position tonight after a pretty hectic finish. We had a lot of cautions to end that race out. So what was it like from your 51 cockpit? What was the race like for you tonight?
It was good. I felt like I had a good pushing car. I don't know if there was anything to really lead the pack and going forward with that, but no, I felt like I had a really good setup. I felt like everything was going in my favor. Coming down to the crunch time, each of the sectors, and the coming down to the finish there.
Yeah, so talk about, you said you had a good setup in the car. We saw a lot of spaced out action for a while, and then once the stages came to a close, it really kind of got really wadded together. Was there anything special about your setup, or anything that with the guys you were working with that kind of gave you the edge that you thought you could have won the race with?
Yeah, I felt like my car was could really suck up well in the draft. If it was maybe 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths back, I felt like I was always able to get up onto the rear bumper of somebody and stay with them rather than lose the draft and kind of fall back.
And then just kind of talk about, I don't want to cause too much controversy, but we saw a little bit of an issue on the back straightaway there. It looks like you got kind of shoved below the yellow line. Then talk about that incident and what that was like from your perspective.
Well, I felt like, knowing that there was probably going to be another caution coming out, I know I needed to get up front as if I was going to win that thing, and I saw my opportunity right out of 2. He slid up the track there, and I tried to, I just poked my nose underneath, thought I had enough room. Like you said, I felt like I got forced down there, and came back on the track, and then he came down on me, and that's from my perspective. He came down on me and wrecked me going into 3. That's all I can say about that.
It worked out for you either way. You came home with a P2 tonight. So who do you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Scott Dockery Racing, working hard on these setups. I appreciate Scott having me part of SDR, and hopefully we can push forward. I also like to appreciate Jeff for having this league and everybody else that's making this thing happen. And appreciate you guys hosting for us this week.
Yeah, 10-4, brother. Thanks for that, and congrats to the finish. And again, we'll hopefully talk to you at some point in the future.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we do not have your winner available. We were hoping to be able to have him. So unfortunately, we will not be able to talk to Michael Kirk, I do not believe. Nope, I don't see him. So we will have to unfortunately skip that aspect of the post-race, but we'll go down your finishing results here from Daytona and call it a night here on PTR. So again, with the victory tonight was Michael Kirk in the 7, then Tanner Love in 2nd, Jeff Biglin in 3rd, Sean Dower 4th, and then rounding out the top 10 is Cody Eldred, Dave Anderson, Andy Kokliva, Sawyer Ott, Stephen Holmes, and Bill Jett.
And finishing in 11th was Robbie Fitzpatrick, then Stephen Walter in 12th, David Jedelick in 13th, then Thomas Cristiano, Jack King, Jonathan Grissip, Jason Rudebush, Paul Smith, Robert Servozo, and Colton Jacob right at the top 20, and now the results should be on the screen.
Yeah, as the rest of the results flash through your screen, a quick shout out to our channel sponsors once again. Air Movement Fabrications, not a cash choice for custom signs, designs, repairs, and all things metal. Visit them online at airmovefabs.co.uk or find them on Facebook. Air Movement and Fabrications. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. For local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. And also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing, 2 main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine, contact Jason Allison at iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. And also, check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and cost low for league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a Patreon, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV.
That's another broadcast here on PTR-TV. We brought you tonight the... Oh my god, I cannot get this right.
Blown Piston
Blown
Racing
Piston.
League.
I keep wanting to get it back, but the Blown Piston Racing League. Obviously, it's a new league for us, so didn't have it down pat. Apologies for that, but we hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Like and sub if you have not done so, and you like what we're doing here on PTR-TV. Always bringing in more and more content. Want more people enjoying the stuff that we show out to help showcase the leagues better every single race. So signing out of the booth is Corey Silva, Evan Black, and Brandon Krutz. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night.
Catch you next time.